The Tellan delegation stood in stunned silence as the Galactic Council's vote appeared on the massive holographic display. 27 species had voted for their extinction. 3 had abstained. Only 1 had voted in their defense: the humans. Ambassador Reed of Earth stood alone, her expression grim but resolute as the council speaker announced the verdict. The Tellan species is hereby declared a biological hazard to galactic stability. Their homeworld will be quarantined and their colonies evacuated. This session is adjourned. The council chamber emptied quickly. No one wished to be near the condemned. No one except the humans. Reed approached Tall, the Tellan representative, whose 4 eyes had dimmed to a deep blue of despair. "This isn't over," she said quietly. "Earth does not recognize this verdict." "Why?" asked Tall, mandibles clicking softly. "Your species is young in the stars. Why risk everything for us?" Reed's smile was thin. "Because it could have been us." 3 months later, the Tellan refugee crisis dominated galactic news. Their immune systems produce compounds that cause neurological damage in most council species. It wasn't contagious. Direct physical contact was required, but fear had overwhelmed reason. Captain Alex Parker of the human vessel Mercy watched the stars through the view screen as his ship approached the Tellan homeworld, now surrounded by a council blockade. "Incoming transmission from the blockade flagship," his communications officer reported. The screen flickered to show Admiral Kral of the Vorton fleet, his tentacles writhed in irritation. "Human vessel, this system is under quarantine by council decree. Turn back immediately." Parker leaned forward. "Admiral, we're on a humanitarian mission carrying medical supplies and environmental stabilizers. The Tellan people are no longer your concern," interrupted Kral. "Final warning, depart or be fired upon." The transmission cut. Parker glanced at his second-in-command, Officer Dias. "Orders, Captain," she asked. Parker studied the tactical display. 20 council ships against 1 human vessel. "We're not here to fight," he said finally. "Plot a course around the blockade. We'll use the asteroid field for cover." Dias nodded. "And if they pursue? Then we'll show them how humans navigate asteroid fields." On the Tellan homeworld, Dr. Maya West worked tirelessly in her makeshift lab. Around her, Tellan scientists watched with cautious hope. "The compound works in simulation," she explained, pointing to her data. "This enzyme breaks down the neurotoxin before it can affect council species' neural pathways. If we can distribute it to all Tellans—" "It won't matter," said Locke, the lead Tellan scientist. "The council's decision wasn't truly about biology. They feared our technological advancement, our resource efficiency, our rapid population growth." Maya shook her head. "That doesn't justify extinction." "Not to humans, perhaps," Locke replied. "Your species understands what it means to fight against extinction. The others have never faced such threats." Maya's tablet chimed with an alert. The Mercy had broken through the blockade and would land within the hour. "We'll need to work fast," she said. "The Council will send reinforcements once they realize what we've done." On Earth, the political fallout was immediate. The Galactic Council had suspended human trading rights, cut diplomatic ties, and threatened sanctions. President Torres addressed the United Nations, her voice steady despite the pressure. "Humanity stands by its principles. We will not abandon the Tellan people to satisfy the fears and prejudices of the Council. We were once alone in the universe, facing our own extinction. Now we have the power to prevent another." The assembly erupted in applause. 6 months later, the first modified Tellan colonists departed for the human-controlled Epsilon system. Their bodies now produce modified compounds that pose no risk to other species. The Council, however, refused to acknowledge the solution. On the colony ship, Tal stood beside Ambassador Reed, watching as the blue-green planet grew smaller behind them. "My people will never forget this," Tal said. "When the galaxy turned its back, humans stood by our side." Reed nodded. "We've been there, you know. Throughout our history, we've seen what happens when people stand by while others suffer. We promised ourselves, never again." A small Tellan child approached, tugging at Reed's sleeve with a delicate appendage. "Will we see the Earth someday?" the child asked. Reed knelt down. Yes, and humans will visit your new world too. We'll build something together that the Council never imagined possible. 2 years passed. The Human-Tellan Alliance flourished in the Epsilon system. Gradually, other species began to question the Council's decision. Trade routes shifted. Diplomatic channels reopened, unofficially at first. On the anniversary of the Exodus, Captain Parker returned to the Tellan homeworld, now inhabited only by automated research stations. His ship carried representatives from 12 Council species, scientists and diplomats who had broken ranks to see the truth for themselves. As they landed, Dr. West met them at the airlock. "Welcome to Project Renaissance," she said. "What you're about to see may change the future of the galaxy." She led them to a vast biodome where Tellans and humans worked side by side, terraforming technology transforming the quarantined world. The Tellans didn't just survive, she explained. They've developed methods to rehabilitate dying worlds, methods they're willing to share. The visitors watched in awe as dead soil bloomed beneath Tellan touch. One diplomat, a Merivian with crystalline skin, turned to Parker. "Why would they help us after what we did?" Parker smiled. "Because humans taught them something we learned long ago. Holding grudges costs more than forgiveness." The Council vote was much closer this time. 14 for, 12 against, 4 abstaining. Not enough to overturn the quarantine, but enough to establish formal relations with the Human-Tellan Alliance. As Tall and Reed left the chamber together, a young aide rushed up to them. "Ambassador Reed, the provisional membership has been approved." Reed turned to Tall. "Congratulations. The Tellan Human Cooperative is now officially recognized as a sovereign political entity." Tall's eyes brightened to a vibrant green. "The galaxy turned its back, but humans stood by our side. Now we stand together, facing forward." Around them, the stars continued their eternal dance, indifferent to the politics of the beings who traveled between them. But for the first time, a new principle had taken root among the civilizations of the galaxy. No species stands alone.